Okay, we're gonna open up the Water Sewer Commissioners meeting for June 5th, 2000, excuse me, wrong thing. December 4th, 2018 at 7:15. President is Bob Josie, Colin Hare, and Bob Sullivan. Okay, Bob, you wanna talk about, North Village? Give us an update.
Yeah, North Village, at the last meeting, we had discussed waiving the fees, and we talked about talking to council whether or not another board could waive the fees for this particular project. So I spoke with council, and it is their opinion that they can waive the fee, so we are required to waive the fee on the affordable units.
Can we do something about this in the future that we don't? I mean, I don't think it's right that they should waive our fees for other.
And I discussed that with council, and he said that he strongly advises boards that they should not waive fees without discussing it with boards that are of the enterprise fund like us,
Right.
because we rely on those fees to operate. We don't get tax money. We don't. We operate off of our
Right.
funds. So when they waive our funds, it kind of puts a damper on things that we can do, like capital projects, and this money goes towards those capital improvement projects that we try to do. So he said he does strongly advise boards not to waive fees like that without having the discussion with the boards.
Yeah, especially us, an enterprise system.
Yep. So
Alright, so that's all set, talk to them and we're okay.
Yeah.
Alright, we don't have any minutes to review right now, so get them in next month. And we have the Systems Manager of Water and Sewer Report.
So for the monthly sewer report, we had 11.24 inches of rain for the month. Cinder hauled off 104,400 gallons. We had a flow of 9,517,000 gallons for an average of 317,000 a day. Wasted 85,000 gallons for an average of 2,800 a day. We used 667 gallons of alum and 823 gallons of sodium hydroxide. We used 293 kilowatt hours of electricity, and the river average flow was 3,823 cubic feet per second. The decant valve failed on SBR 1, so that forced us to put SBR 3 back online while we were commencing repairs to the valve. They replaced the sampler tubing on both the influent and effluent samplers. We had propane delivered to the back building and the Colonial Pump Station, and we passed the fourth quarter toxicity testing. That's it on that. I have not got the numbers together. For the water, we lost our other water operator. I don't remember if we brought that up at the last meeting or if that had happened after the meeting. So we lost our other operator, and we moved the assistant sewer operator over to the water for now. We'll get all that squared away. So we got to get an ad out for another water operator and another sewer operator at that point.
Put out a thing for resumes for that.
Yeah, I'll have to put out an ad, post it in all the municipal things.
Yeah.
So what's going on the water side? We turned the first unit on up at Cardinal Drive. So they've got one house built up there. I don't know if you've been up.
Cardinal. Oh, up of
Right
Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, so we activated the first line up there, so that line's now active. It's a 2-inch line going up, and then it splits to 4 different lines. One is kind of a backup line for the house that's up there that's been there forever.
Oh yeah, kind of left.
Yeah, because I know when we were trying to find it before they put that road in, that line was kind of sketchy. So I figured if anything happens to it, because when we put that 2-inch line going up, they only had a 4-way splitter. So it goes up 2 inch and then it splits to 4 1-inch lines. So they only had a 4-way, and I said, well, that works out because it's right there at his property, so we'll just shoot a curb over to there, and we put a curb in right there so it can run right to that house if his line ever fails. It'll be a shorter run and
Okay.
not
digging
running
all the
up
way
on
back,
it,
yeah.
we're not digging up the road and everything else. So,
Good.
so that's active.
What's going up there, 2 more houses?
Yes, I
Yeah.
believe there's 3 lots up there. so we taught Steve how to do the sampling. All the sampling came back good for this month. We submitted the new forms that we had to for the chlorine addition, and we ordered the first chlorine analyzer to try to get that up, so we'll be in compliance with that rule that we're supposed to be analyzing.
Was that one of the requirements the DEP had on the last round of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we gotta get that done. And I don't know if I brought up the section chief for the sewer came out and did a sewer inspection.
No.
So they came out kinda last minute, they called us the day before, so we'll be out at 9:30 the next morning. So we did a walkthrough, everything came back okay, everything,
Was that the DEP?
yeah, so it was Dave Boyer who was actually the section chief, wasn't quite sure why
Oh yeah, you did tell me about
the
that.
section
You did
chief
tell me
was
about
coming out, but
that. You did tell me
Yeah.
that.
yeah, yes, I thought I did tell you anyway,
You
I
did.
just don't know if I brought it up at the meeting. There was a couple things on there that he wanted us to do. One was a staffing evaluation through the New England wastewater site. They have a kind of a template that you go through, and it dictates how much your staffing should be, because he thinks that we're understaffed with. I said we had three wastewater operators, myself and the two. He tried to claim that I'm in the office, so I was like, no, I'm in the trenches.
Yeah, we're not quite big enough yet to
We're
get
not,
to the.
not at that level that we have a manager.
I think
that
they
sits
bring
there.
that up all the time.
Yeah, so I just gotta go through that
They've brought it
evaluation.
before.
I gotta go through that evaluation process, and then he said that we are required to have a backup generator for Gilboa Street, because we don't have a generator for that pump station.
Yeah.
So that was originally my intent anyway, was to get a backup generator, because we're supposed to have one for Booster, but we're in the process of having, they were supposed to have us a quote last week. But getting us a price so that we can get one generator that we can do Booster, Turbine, Gilboa, and possibly Colonial if that generator failed. But I wanted a portable that we can run around and just have a plug put on each of them.
Is that gonna be agreeable with them?
With the state, yeah, they'll agree to that. They only said that I need it for that pump station, so I would rather buy one and cover 4 buildings
Right, yeah.
than, having one at every station.
So which one of the buildings you talking about?
So the booster station on Main Street,
Yeah.
because we have a plug for that, but we don't have a generator. So if we
This-
go down, we have to have a generator.
Okay. I thought that there was no generator now.
No,
That whole
No.
deal.
no.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Oh yeah. No,
Because that's why we talked about
Remember
getting
they
a
held up.
portable.
Remember they held up the project. Said was held up on the
yeah,
that one fitting. They didn't want to know what's. Yeah, that's right.
yeah, that's what they claimed,
Yeah.
but it was in the package.
Right.
It was already in the building with it.
That's right. And what other? So you got the
So
Main.
the booster station on
Yeah.
Main Street,
Yeah.
the turbine well field,
Yeah.
the turbine well over it on West Street, because that one has an old engine. So it's a backup engine. It's not a generator. So it's an engine with a clutch, and it goes in with a 90-degree shaft and like a worm gear to drive it. So you got to disengage the electric motor, and engage the clutch on the propane engine to run it. But the problem with that is we have no treatment. So there's nothing to power everything else that you need to run the well anyway. So that's useless and we can't use it.
Oh, for all the
I was
chemicals.
gonna say, we haven't used that in years.
No, and you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, unless we brought another generator down there to hook everything up, but then nothing's tied together, so it really won't work anyway. So
How about Glen Street? How about
Glen
the-
Street has a
the wells?
generator
They're up.
inside. Yeah,
That's-
Glen Street has one. Primary has one.
Okay.
And I also wanted a plug put up at Colonial because it's an older generator. And we've had a few problems with it over the years, and it just seems like it's every time a problem comes up is when something's going wrong. I mean, the thing exercises every week, but every time we have a problem and it goes down, that's when we're in the middle of an outage. So I figured worst case scenario, we just add a plug to it for a couple $100, and if that goes down, we can just plug in the portable.
Yeah, well, you own that, right? That station?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So LaFleur's working on
A proposal to set that up, yeah. I said I wanted the same plug at every one, and they tried coming back saying, well, you really want it different because of different voltages. But I said, regardless of what the plug is,
Oh, really?
yeah, Yeah, I got 200 at turbine, 480 at booster. It's single phase at Colonial, 220 single phase, and this is 240 three phase over here. So I got different voltages at every one, but the generators, all the way all the generators come through is you got selector switches on what voltage you want. And it just depends on what lugs you tie in the cords to, because none of them have plugs to plug into.
Mhm.
So you have a plug that plugs into the building, and it's four wires that come out of it, and you just plug them into which lugs get you the right voltage. So it doesn't matter what's on that end; it's what we connect to that makes the difference.
Yeah, that sounds like it's gonna be not too good of an idea.
Well, it's the only way you can do it. There's no way to do it any
I mean,
other.
I like the sound, like the way LaFleur was saying it, but I'm from layman's perspective on this.
Yeah,
Because you have to use, in order to use that voltage, it has to be that specific plug, so you can't really screw up, I guess, per se, but I guess.
But you can because it's backwards. If it was a plug that plugged into the generator,
Mhm.
then yes, you could get a specific plug for a specific voltage.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't work off of a plug on the generator. It's bare wires that you screw
Insert.
into a lug. You know what a
on
lug
the-
is, right?
Yeah,
So it's just a little thing that you stuff the wire in and tighten down
yeah.
the bolt. And you got to read on the panel that says, all right, for 208 single phase, here's the ones you use. For 480, it's these three wires.
I'll have to leave
So,
that up to the.
It's not a layman, I'm not gonna, it's not something that I would send Willie out to hook up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's,
that's my concern is the.
it's gonna be me or probably Steve that will be
Somebody
hooking it
that's-
up. It's, I wouldn't have Peter touch it.
Somebody that's trained knows exactly what.
Right.
That would probably have to be labeled pretty
Yeah.
good too. I bet.
Yes, I mean, we're gonna have to have like a written procedure.
I was gonna say, you're gonna have something really good in place
Yeah,
and be trained on how to do it.
yeah. So, I mean, I'd have to look at the generator if there's a way to hook lugs in and clamp them down and put a plug so that the plug's always hanging off the generator. Then you could only plug into that plug.
Certain fitting, right.
Right. So you have different ones that are on there,
There
but
has to be something that can minimize the confusion to it.
yeah, but unfortunately, some of it is you've got so many lugs, but you use this one and these two for this voltage, this one and these two for this voltage. So I don't think I can like stack wires into one lug. So
Yeah. I like
it's
the
just
idea of something.
just
that
gonna
you
be a
plug
matter
in.
of
Yeah,
That way there's. Well, I mean, whatever I'm sure LaFleur is, that's their business, so they'll make sure it's done. It's gonna
That's
be done
the
to.
rule.
It's gonna be done to.
come up with
whatever
this best, safest way we
Yeah.
can
Yep.
come up with.
Yep.
All right, so I don't think we're going to do anything with policies and procedures tonight. So open session topics not reasonably anticipated. I did get a call yesterday. Actually, you were in here when I got the call. I don't know if I told you what it was for, but we got the grant to get the trenching box.
mm-hmm.
So through the insurance company, we got a grant. So $7,466 or something to
Okay.
get a modular trench box, so that we can use it on the water main breaks and stuff. So
Is that for us and the town, or
no,
just
that was our department got it.
for us?
I mean, the town can use it if
Yeah.
they need it,
Yeah.
but yeah, that
Yeah.
was we filed for it. We got the grant for that, so I got
Good.
that. That's who I was on the phone with yesterday when you were here.
We're gonna keep that here at the highway department.
Either one.
Anyway,
The one that we spec'd is an aluminum one. I mean, ultimately, I'd like to get one of those little, like a 6x8 or 6x10 or whatever enclosed trailer that you can keep it all in there, because it's all modular, so it's two people can put it together and pick it up and drop it in the trench.
Oh, is that?
You don't need a
okay.
backhoe or any of that stuff. I mean, the one they have up at Highway, you almost need a freaking excavator to move. The thing's so
Oh,
enormous.
they do have one up there.
They
Okay.
have a giant one, but it won't really work well for us
For us, yeah.
because you can't put them in and work around a pipe. A modular one, you can put it in and then it
Yeah.
has an end
Bob
board
might
that you
go up
can
further.
have it go up
Yeah.
over the pipe and,
Oh, yeah.
it's usable.
Yeah.
So 90% of the, well, it's probably higher than 90% of the time, but since I've been here, we never use one because you can't get them in there to work on the spacers you can adjust on this, whereas that one's kind of set. So if you don't make a trench big enough, you can't put it in there anyway. This you can make it fit to the
Oh,
size you
so
need.
it's a sectional we can put together. Okay. Plus it's aluminum, so it's
It's
lightweight.
aluminum, so it's lightweight. 2 people can pick it up and move it around.
Good.
So that'll work well. That's all I got. Well, we did shut off started today, so
What?
shut off started today.
Oh, okay.
In case you guys get calls.
I haven't got any yet, so
Paid your bill, I hope.
my bill paid. You get yours paid?
Yeah.
Went on the list. I would.
Try to send the list to make sure. Alright, that's all I've got.
All right. Anything else? Got anything, Colin?
No, only thing I was going to bring up was just the staff and getting something up for that. But
Yeah.
that was already addressed.
Yeah.
So
Trust me, I want to move forward on that quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Tired of doing all the running around myself.
I bet.
Especially winter's coming up. That's when we get all the frozen pipes.
I know. Usually starts right about this time of year.
Yep.
Okay. All right, well, set.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna go into executive session to discuss strategy with the respect of litigation.
Come on.
All right, and then to come out of executive session for the purpose of adjournment.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Take a roll call vote.
Colin here.
Aye, Robert Josie.
Colin here. Aye.